claims her son was kidnapped and brainwashed by his father.
Are you going to continue to sue the family he's living with?
Absolutely, I am. It was a crime. This was a kidnapping.
If you are attacking the family, you are attacking him.
Now, this family drama
She's the only one lying here.
is far from over.
I just closed my eyes and shot myself.
Why did you shoot yourself?
The surprising answer.
I hear the gunshot. I hear it.
You made me do it, Mom.
He made these things in your head. I hear
hold
the
on,
gunshot.
listen.
He's excelled.
You're not the one that hears the gunshot.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've hurt long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Wilson, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Today, the story of a young man so desperate for attention, he took the family handgun in November 2012 and tragically tried to kill himself. His mom, Minnie, said her 17-year-old son was just a troubled boy, and this was just the latest act in his unstable behavior. Minnie knew she had to reach out to Andrew's biological father, David, even though they haven't had any contact in 10 years. She says she never expected David to kidnap their son out of the hospital where he was recovering and take him across state lines to live with him. She says David has hypnotized and brainwashed Andrew into staying with him. Here's what happened yesterday.
I met David when I was 19. I had a 3-night stand with David. I found that I was pregnant August 1994. My son Andrew was born in April of 95. Being Andrew's mother was very stressful. I saw his first psychiatrist when he was 5.5, and they had said that it sounded like hyperactivity disorder or bipolar disorder. Another doctor said obsessive compulsive disorder. He had multiple issues. David met Andrew for the first time when he was approximately 6 years old. From the ages of 6 to 17, David had only seen Andrew approximately 3 times. My husband, Lon, was really the hands-on father.
Life was really good until I turned 7. That's when my mom married Lon. Lon physically and mentally abused me every day of my life for 10 years.
Lon, let me ask you something. Is that true?
This child's never been abused, Dr. Phil.
Are you telling the truth here, or have you been brainwashed?
Words can't describe how bad it actually was.
On November 9, 2012, my son tried to kill himself by shooting himself point blank in the chest. Andrew had a collapsed lung. The bullet had broken into fragments, so he had a bullet lodged into his arm. He had 2 broken ribs. He was in a lot of pain, and it was hard to watch. David or his wife called in to Child Protective Services, and they devised a plan to have David take Andrew from the hospital without my permission. I believe there was a conspiracy to have my son kidnapped.
I did not kidnap my son, Andrew. I did nothing illegal. Lon and Minnie asked me to take him for him to live with us.
You were okay with him going with David?
Andrew did ask me if he could go to Nevada, and I said yes.
You don't consider the kidnapping taking place because he asked you if he could go, and you said yes?
No, I do consider that it took place because David came from Nevada with the plan to kidnap him all along.
But you gave your son permission to go with him.
Yes, to my son I did. In May of last year, my son told me he wanted nothing to do with me, and that was the last time I talked to him. They have brainwashed my son into believing that I am evil. People need to pay for what they did. I'm currently suing the County of Humboldt, Sierra Vista Hospital in Sacramento, several social workers, and I'm suing David and his wife.
Minnie is out of control. I'm obsessed with getting Andrew back. I love Andrew very much. Yeah, I love Andrew very much.
My whole life, I felt like I wasn't normal. My life now is very different. I have a girlfriend, I have a car, I graduated high school, I have a full-time job. These are all things my mom wouldn't let me do. I honestly want my mom to go away. I want her to stop suing the family I'm living with. If I knew I could have gone with David, my dad, then I wouldn't have shot myself.
Why did you shoot yourself?
I did it because of you and the house I was in. I did it because you would never let me do what I wanted to do. I tried to move out earlier and get a job, and you told me I couldn't. You said if I wanted to work, I could work at the house.
No.
I did it to escape your household, the things you did to me. My whole life, you never listened to me, not a word I said.
I'm sorry for not listening to you. I agree with that.
I don't have problems.
We didn't say you couldn't get a job. We
Yes,
said
you did.
no, we did not. You wanted to run track, and you wanted
never
to.
let me.
We wanted you to focus on graduating first.
No.
You had friends that were smoking
You took me out of
pot.
school.
Andrew, we didn't want you to smoke with your friends and rip off the liquor store.
That wasn't it.
Or the Safeway.
I smoke and did alcohol to cope with you, to abuse.
Andrew says, just leave us alone. And the emails that we talked about before, you said we almost lost Andrew, but then after that, hiya, David, thanks for the nice photos. It's hard to believe he was a gunshot victim just 2 weeks ago. Then you write, nice to know he's settling in there. He's very polite and nice when he's here with everyone else. We never see the one you're seeing now. Then next, you say, Andrew sounds awesome. The way Andrew talks makes me want to convert to the Mormon religion. I mean, everything's just going great.
Well, they were over his phone calls to me were so over the top.
Yeah,
I've
then
never
all
been
of a
so
sudden,
happy. And
yeah, then all of a sudden, on December 26th of 2012, David, I would feel sorry for you if you hadn't kidnapped my kid, shelling out so much money to a bottom feeder. Family law is the bottom of the bottom. They are all the dumbest attorneys out there. You're an idiot. I have dealt with family law attorneys, and yours is a total moron. She is milking you for everything you are worth, telling you what you want to hear. Stupid. Then
put her letters up there to me. Put her letters. She told me I was a despicable mother, coming in not knowing anything about the last 17 years of me loving my son.
This was
It was
David.
about his attorney, his family law attorney, who wrote a 5-page letter to me about what a despicable, evil person I am, and I was just like, I can't believe an attorney is writing me this kind of a letter.
Then later that day, you emailed his wife, Jennifer, and you say, by the way, David told me that you are a horrible and that you take forever to blank. He liked it so much better with me, but now that he's a fat ass, you can totally have him. Fatty.
I'm sorry, Dr.
Laugh
Phil.
out loud.
I was depressed and drunk when I wrote that email. I was depressed and drunk. Dr. Phil, seriously, someone kidnaps your son who has a bullet in him. He has a bullet in him, and he won't return my son, and I don't know what's going on with my son.
Okay, well, had you, hold on.
I did drink a lot during this time.
Had you sobered up the next day?
It depends on the time of the email. I mean...
Because the next day...
I was very depressed, Dr. Phil.
So the next day you say, congrats. It's a boy with tons of psychiatric problems and a lifelong disability issues. You guys are so lucky. Good luck with that.
I sent that because I was so angry because they had my son tell me to and that he never wanted to have anything to do with me, and I didn't understand. I'm like, how can my son, who we've had an okay relationship for 17 years, all of a sudden do this? I didn't understand. I was in, like, shock, angry. You know, my son is with strangers, Dr. Phil, and he's got a bullet in him.
Well, then, almost a year later, 10/11/13, October 11th, just a very few months ago, you write, DW, you thought your anger would throw me off my game? Well, news for you, I live, breathe, eat, and sleep anger. It actually gives me my edge. You want to throw me off my game? Good luck with that. Every day that goes by, you are still hurting my baby, teenager or not, and I will get you. And back at the end of the year, December 24th, this is some Christmas Eve joy, you sent one that said, Brad Pitt in the last 20 minutes of 7. Don't think you can steal my kid and get away with it.
These must be tweets. I drunk tweet a lot. Are these tweets? Are these Twitter tweets?
Well, this was posted on your Facebook. Maybe we need
I
to
drunk
put
Facebook too.
Well, maybe we need to put a breathalyzer on your computer.
Do you understand how upsetting? Do you understand? I'm sorry, Dr. Phil. When I get upset, sometimes I say a lot. Your son shot himself, and you don't get to apologize. Lon wanted to say he loved you. He never got to say he loved you, and that has eaten him up every day. I have a lot of things I wanted to say to you, that he stole that moment from us. We wanted to fix our family. If we were so, emotionally upsetting to you, that was our chance to come in. We were going to roll up our sleeves. You shot yourself. We're like, oh my gosh, this is serious. We have to work on this and be better parents.
I don't believe
That's
he
what we
ever loved
wanted
me,
to
Mom.
do. Of course.
When I shot myself, he was screaming and yelling that I destroyed your life.
He wasn't screaming.
He came
He
in.
held you in his arms.
No, he didn't.
You were out of
was
it.
there. I was not
walked
out of
in
it.
the room and your eyes
Mom,
were like this.
When I
and
shot
he was
myself,
crying.
I jumped up and hid the gun so you guys wouldn't get in trouble. I was completely with it.
That shows you are a nutcase, Andrew, because nobody would care about hiding a gun. We care about you.
I didn't want
Hiding
this
a
to
gun
happen.
doesn't protect us.
It does.
How's
I didn't
that
want them to
protect
find
us?
We didn't care about being protected.
Lon, don't refer to him as a nutcase. That's not right.
He's called me that my whole life.
Well, Dr. Phil, honestly, when somebody shoots themselves stone cold sober,
You were sober.
that's a reason right there to think that he's not mentally thinking correctly. And then to think about hiding a gun to protect us from what? He would have protected us by not hurting himself.
I have been mentally tortured every night. I hear the gunshot. I hear the gunshot going off in my head. I hear it.
And later,
I know. You love him. I get it.
Listen, I don't want to hurt you, but you have to leave us alone.
I've been suing him
Why?
because I tried to report your child abduction
There was
kidnapping.
no abduction. I
Okay.
told you point blank. I
Okay.
want to go back to the abuse in your house.
And I don't care that he made you say that stuff. I
You
don't
didn't
care.
make me say
I
anything.
don't care.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My dad gave me $30.
you have an addict for a daughter, and you're giving her money to make yourself feel better, not to help her.
I think that's a crock. This is my fault. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Is this father killing his daughter?
Are you telling me that you don't know she's buying drugs with it?
You took her to a drug house to get it. In what world would any parent do that to their child?
Tomorrow. Then on Thursday, he's 16
I'm going to ask a question I have never asked a teenager before.
and in a deadly gang.
Have you committed murder?
That's Thursday.
You wrote blogs, Minnie, as well.
I have a blog,
You have a blog.
right?
On 12/29/12, you wrote, my oldest child was recently kidnapped by a sperm donor. I've got to do some major damage to the holes on many list. I want to totally tear this guy's life apart. I want to drive 1,000 miles, stalk him, find out what he values most in his life, and rip it to shreds. A week later, vengeance sends me the murderous ideas that consume me. I think I just might hire someone to snuff the and then I go back to bed.
That is true, Dr. Phil. You don't understand. I have been mentally tortured every night. I hear the gunshot. I hear the gunshot going off in my head. I hear it. I hear it. Do you understand the pain? Oh, dude, I'm your mother. I am your mother, and
You
I
made
love
me
you.
do it, Mom.
He has made these things in your head.
Living with you led me to it. The way you treated me.
Broken. You're gonna say you weren't crying and depressed for
Dr.
that
Phil,
week. Don't
he's
start
excelled.
talking. You're not the one that hit the gunshot. You're the one who was there. Lon was cradling him in his arms. We love you. You laughing because you're nervous, and I still love you.
Because it's all fake.
It is not
It's all a
fake.
lie.
I'm sorry.
Was he cradling you?
He never touched me. I remember he came in and he was yelling, saying, I destroyed my mother's life. Look what I've done. And I was saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just kept saying that over and over again.
You were not.
Lon told me the
asked me
miracle
where
in
the
this
gun
whole
was.
thing is not Andrew not dying. The miracle is that he didn't die because it would have killed her.
Because I
miracle,
love
she
him
couldn't
so
take
much,
it.
and he loves him. We
This is
wanted
the
him to
miracle.
survive. What are you
It's
talking
nothing
about?
I've done. He's the miracle.
I got to ask one question, and then we have to take a break, and then I want to tell you what I want to do after that. How are you doing now?
I'm doing wonderful, Dr. Phil. I'm doing all the things my mother said I would never do. I have a full-time job. I've had a girlfriend for a year now. I have a driver's license. My mother-in-law said I could never drive a car because I could never follow the rules of the road.
Lon.
Are you driving a car?
That-
I'm driving.
True.
I drive in Vegas, busy city traffic.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend. I have a year.
His girlfriend was
Okay. When you went to, I just need to ask you these things. When you went to Vegas, you're a member of the Mormon Church?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you go to a Mormon school?
I chose to go to seminary in the morning because I wanted to learn more about the Bible.
But I'm talking about your school, just
School.
math
Oh.
and
Dr.
science.
Phil, they gave him that
Okay,
girlfriend
hold
on Thanksgiving, the day he
Hold
got
on.
there.
I'm sorry, did you,
Yeah, come on.
We go to a public high school.
okay, you go to public high school. Okay. Do you have friends?
I have lots of friends.
Did you do any sports?
I did do sports. I did track.
Okay.
With a collapse lung.
And you
Hurdles.
were medically cleared?
Medically clear. It didn't hurt me a bit.
And
He has a blood
she
clot.
says,
I have the
Minnie
x-rays
says,
from the hospital. He's internally bleeding.
Minnie says that you gave him this girlfriend for Thanksgiving.
I said on Thanksgiving. No,
On Thanksgiving. Where did you
soon as he got there.
Where did you get her?
I think we bought her, Dad.
His girlfriend is the valedictorian of his class.
And it was on Thanksgiving, right? He'd been there a couple days, right? Tell me that, right? Yes, because he told me.
He started dating about 2 months.
No,
2.5.
I actually
no,
met her at
same
church.
girlfriend.
You met her at church?
Yeah, and we didn't start dating till January 23rd.
January 23rd. And she was the valedictorian of the
Yes.
class? Okay.
Actually, the whole school.
Okay. And you've been driving for how long now?
Since June.
Yeah.
Since I graduated.
Yeah. And
That's when I got my driver's license.
How
I
many-
had my permit the whole time.
yeah, how many wrecks have you had?
None.
How many tickets have you had?
None.
Have you gotten lost?
I get lost plenty of times.
Yeah. Did you find your way home though?
I find my way home.
You do find your way
fortunately,
back
yeah.
home. Okay. So you graduated with a 3.0. You have a girlfriend
Yeah.
and a job and a car. And you've done sports and
the bullet?
you're active in a church.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Do you drink?
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't have any of these problems, which they told me I had my whole life.
You were.
He's an assistant with the Boy Scouts.
Your Humboldt County friends gave you the pot. What the heck? We didn't give
Did
you
you-
the pot and drugs.
You're
and
working with the
alcohol.
Boy Scouts?
I'm an assistant Cub Scout leader. It's my church calling.
So you're assistant Cub Scout leader.
That's great. I think that's great. If he's happy, I'm happy. I just wanted the bullets removed. I haven't been bothering them.
The bullet?
I want the bullet and the shrapnel, and I want to make sure he's medically sound. He didn't take him to check out his collapsed lung when he kidnapped him.
No.
I wanted a surgeon to look at him and make sure he was fine. If he's happy, as a mother, or I was going to...
Now that you know
I'm happy too.
Will you leave us alone?
I'm
That's all
not
I want out of
bothering you
this.
guys. You know what? When he told me he wants to move on, I have not bothered them.
You're suing everybody with a mailing address. Hell, you're suing the hospital and Humboldt County. And I'm not saying that they didn't do things wrong.
I know,
I'm not saying
I
they
know.
didn't do things wrong.
I
I'm
know
saying
they did do things wrong.
And if
Dr.
they
Phil.
did,
That's
they should be
separate.
held to account. But
Yes, that's
separate from this,
Yes,
is what
I
I'm
have
saying.
not contacted them or harassed them once he said.
She threatened to sue the high school for enrolling him. She threatened his
Again,
psychiatrist.
separate. I'm not hounding my son,
therapist.
Dr. Phil. I'm not calling.
Everybody's.
I have
should
let
be in
go.
a cage for
I have
what
let
she
go.
did.
Yeah. When we come back, I'm going to ask Minnie if she has any questions, and I'm going to ask David to excuse us because I want to have Minnie to have an opportunity to talk with her son, absent anyone else here other than myself, and we'll see how that goes. We'll be right back.
I'm suing David and his wife Jennifer because they enticed away my minor son, abducted him, kept him there. Basically, it's parental alienation.
I want Minnie to stop with the lawsuit, but she said she's not going to stop, even if she does lose.
My mom has been in lawsuits as far as I can remember, and now she is suing my dad. It's very hard on me, honestly. I feel like this is my fault that I've caused this, and it's hard to see the only people that have ever taken care of me in such pain because of my mother.
All this week,
You have an addict for a daughter, and you're giving her money to make yourself feel better, not to help her.
I think that's a crock of
is this father killing his daughter?
He picks me up and takes me to the drug house. What world would any parent do that to their child?
An obsessed love triangle.
I love Chris, Dr. Phil. Chris loves me.
And you say you were engaged to Chris.
He gave me this ring.
Did you ask her to marry you?
Not that I can recall.
Do you have trouble being unclear?
I do sometimes.
I
I believe that my mom killed my sister's best friend and buried her in the backyard.
A daughter's outrageous accusations.
You said you were passed around to your dad's friends at sex parties. Did this happen?
No, none of it happened. Oh, my God.
No, you don't get to do this. It is not a response to say, oh, well, I just, oh. If you want to unplug, we're done.
Growing up, my mother told me I was psychotic, bipolar, I was autistic. Pretty much, she picked me apart, and she put a diagnosis to it. My mom's plan was to keep me at the very bottom, tell me I could never do anything. She told me I was too stupid to go to college. I want to say to my mom, I'm not mentally retarded, I don't have Asperger's, I'm not bipolar, I'm not schizophrenic, I am normal, and whatever she says that I am not. And she can't decide who I am.
I mean, that's all I want in life, is for you to be happy. And I don't care that he made you say that stuff. I don't care.
He didn't make me say anything.
I don't care. Well, I know. You love him. I get it.
Listen, I don't want to hurt you, but you have to leave us alone. I'm 18.
I'm not going to bother you. I love you.
You've been bothering the family I'm living with for a year now.
I've been suing him.
Why?
Because I tried to report your child abduction
There
kidnapping.
was no abduction. I told you point blank, I don't want to go back to the abuse in your house. I told you.
No, that never happened.
I told you. I called you many times.
You never said that to me on the phone because that never happened.
Mom, you remember when we met in front of the police station in person? I told you I was happy, and you told me I was mentally handicapped. You told me you would declare me mentally handicapped, and I wouldn't be able to make decisions for myself.
Because you had the bullet in you, and I
that
needed to
made
get
me
you back.
mentally handicapped? I couldn't make decisions because I had a bullet in me?
I wanted to get you back from him. He wouldn't return you. That was 2 weeks
No, it was
later.
my choice. I didn't want to go back.
You were 17.
He gave me the choice. He said I could go back, and I told him if I went back with you, I would run away.
Okay. I understand that.
You said that.
No, but a week before you said you'd run away if they made you stay with him. I have that report too, Andrew. A week before, before you got to Nevada, in the child welfare report, they brought that up to you.
Mom.
And Andrew says he will run away if he's forced to live in Nevada.
Mom, honestly,
because you wanted to come back to
I've
Humboldt
never
County.
lived a normal life. I thought living with you was normal, so I came out here, and I've experienced normal life, and I was happy.
I understand that.
I just wanted things to change between us and our family.
We did too, and that was our time.
That's why I wanted to go back.
When you shot yourself, that was our time.
I realized that it's
we
not
were going to
normal.
roll up our sleeves and do whatever it took to make our family perfect and happy, read family first. That was our chance. We wanted to do that, but it was stolen from us, Andrew.
17 years I've lived with you. I've
We
never
could have been
experienced a
better.
normal life.
I know what you mean by normal. You mean, the Brady Bunch or something.
No,
but
Mom.
really, trust me, your life was average. I want to tell you, it was average. No one abused you. I was abused. I was physically and sexually abused as a child, and that never happened to you because I wouldn't let it. Because I lived sexual and physical abuse.
You let it,
Andrew,
Mom.
I lived it as a child. That never happened to
I
you.
lived it.
Now, emotional abuse, totally different. I understand that. It takes 1,000 attaboys for one, you're stupid. Get that. I'm sorry for that. We were emotionally draining parents. I agree. I agree.
Can I jump in a second? Here's the thing. I'm sorry that you made the decision to injure yourself. You could have died, and you don't want to be doing that. And I hope you understand now that that's a bad option.
Of course.
Right.
They wouldn't give me options. I wanted to move out. I wanted to get a job.
Okay, but
I wanted
now
to go to school.
that's not on your radar at this point, right?
No.
This is nothing that you would consider
Never.
doing again. I want that to be off the chart. Because you get in a box, you have somebody to call. You call me, and I will call you back if I'm not there.
I appreciate it, but I'm not even worried about it.
I understand, but I just want you to know you've got an outlet, right here, and I want you to know that.
That was worth it. Anything I've done was worth that, just that. You can call him. He won't get me involved. I'm out of the picture. And if you ever need help, and that was worth anything and everything that I've done to get here.
It's a burden to know that she's suing the family I'm living with.
Are you asking her to stop that?
I've been asking her for the whole year.
I'm not suing my son.
Are you going to continue to sue the family that he's living with?
My whole life, I felt like I wasn't normal. My stepfather was very abusive. My mother told me I was autistic. I just wanted to get out of the situation I was in. If I knew I could have gone with David, my dad, then I wouldn't have shot myself. I honestly want my mom to go away.
Nobody knows the details of everything that has happened. You know, you say one thing, he says another thing, and oftentimes people can experience and see things very, very differently. You know, that's why eyewitness testimonies are so unreliable. I mean, people just see things differently. And your definition of average and normal and your definition of average and normal and mine are probably vary greatly. But what I want you to know now is you're talking to him without David here. And I've been doing this for a long, long time. Okay. Long, long time. And I hear what is said and I hear what isn't said. 7% of all communication is verbal. 93% is nonverbal. It's facial tone, body language, intonation, syntax, all sorts of things that go into what people communicate. And so I'm often paying attention and listening to things that others just don't care to pay attention to. And I've been observing this young man, and I've got to tell you that the way that he conducts himself now in a highly stressful situation, this is highly stressful. I mean, he's confronting you. He knows you're upset. He's confronting Lon. He's on national television. He's meeting me the first time. He's got all these people here, millions of people watching this. And this young man has appropriate affect. He has appropriate verbalizations. They're not pushed in any way. He seems to be neurologically intact.
Lon worked with him on eye contact. When Lon first met him at 7.5, we worked with him. Yes.
He seems to me at this point to be functioning
exceptional
in a really good way. So whatever's happening in his life, it seems to be working.
No, he was this way when we raised him. This is my son.
Why don't you tell me my whole life I had problems?
I said you may have
hold on.
learning
Listen,
issues.
listen, I'm not trying to be right.
But this is because of my mothering, that he is a beautiful man. I had raised him in Lawrence for 17.5 years.
And you should be.
I'm not saying that David, the kidnapper,
you should be very proud.
I am extremely proud.
Then you should be
very
proud.
And I have always been proud of my son.
Because
I've told him that.
Because at this point, I think that he seems to be doing really, really well. And I think you can take a deep breath and some peace. And I would think that the best thing that could happen for your son and for yourself and your family is to stop this litigious pursuit. You said, as long as I know you're happy, that's all I care. I'll stop everything else.
I haven't contacted or harassed him. When I found out that he was in the middle, I did not push a relationship with him because I didn't want to keep my son in the middle.
No, I certainly hope you have a relationship with him going forward, but I hope
all of those emails and calls were during the time in December of last year.
I hope you'll drop all of these lawsuits that affect him. You'll sue whoever you feel like you need to, but you need to leave him out of any of this. You're not helping him.
I'm not suing my son. I have left him completely out of everything.
It's a burden to know that she's suing the family I'm living with, that they've done nothing but help me. I see the stress you're causing in their life, the financial hardship, the mental stress.
Are you asking her to stop that?
I've been asking her for the whole year. I never wanted her to start it.
And that's understandable. This lawsuit started because he'd been there for 2 weeks. I thought that
are you going to continue to
suing
sue the family?
let me explain. My family's gone through grief too. Your son Noah sleeps with your picture. He has 3 siblings that have never seen him. He shot himself and he was gone. It's like a death for our family. We sit around with Andrew stories and saying, remember the time Andrew did this?
Are you going to continue to sue his family that he's living with now?
I want to know how you shouldn't feel in the middle, Andrew. David needs to be accountable for his actions as an adult.
He did nothing wrong.
Okay, he's an adult. If you're an 18-year-old, you can live on your own. You should understand this, that he's an adult. If he goes and robs a bank, commits a crime, he's held accountable for that.
He didn't do anything wrong.
I understand your opinion,
He
and I
took care of
support
me.
that.
Okay,
I support that opinion.
Let me ask you a question. This isn't an essay question, it's just a question.
Okay.
Are you going to continue to sue the family that he's living with?
The bullet was still in there. Now he's on national TV saying they removed it. Do you have proof that they ever removed the bullet and the fragments?
She's the only one lying here.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My dad gave me $30.
You have an addict for a daughter, and you're giving her money to make yourself feel better, not to help her.
I think that's a crock. This is my fault. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Is this father killing his daughter?
Are you telling me that you don't know she's buying drugs with it?
You took her to a drug house to get it. In what world would any parent do that to their child?
Tomorrow. Then on Thursday, he's 16.
I'm going to ask a question I have never asked a teenager before.
And in a deadly gang.
Have you committed murder?
That's Thursday.
Are you going to continue to sue the family that he's living with?
Absolutely, I am. I am
Okay.
going to still do that.
Then-
I'm still going to do that. I don't understand why
So-
someone who committed a crime against my child, right? It was a crime. My family had grief too. He was not abused.
You know, I've
This
always,
was a kidnapping.
I can just tell you, maybe it's just me, and I'm talking this as a parent, not as Dr. Phil, just as, daddy. I always find a real soft spot in my heart for people that do kind things for my children.
What if they kidnapped them first?
If I see
How's that work?
if I see that my child is happy and healthy and flourishing and doing well, then I always have a soft spot in my heart for them. And make no mistake, you do what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do or not do, but make no mistake, if you are attacking the family with whom he is living, you are attacking him. And that's your conscious choice if you do that.
Okay, well, I have a question, Dr. Phil. When I did depositions with the kidnapper, who, by the way, I caught committing several felonies during the kidnapping, lying to the police, lying to the court in affidavits, he even had a fake psychiatrist, which I thought you would find upsetting. He had a nurse sign a letter pretending to be a psychiatrist and submitted it to the court that says that Andrew suffers from no mental health problems. Now, that's a crime. It's upsetting. When I did depositions, the bullet was still in there. Now he's on national TV saying they removed it. Do you have proof that they ever removed the bullet and the fragments? Because this guy, trust me, lies in affidavits under oath to court. So I've always been worried about the bullet in there because my son shot himself. It could move. It could cut tendons. He could be paralyzed. This man appeared at his deposition with a lot of fake doctor information that I busted during depositions.
She's the only one lying here.
Where's the bullet?
We actually had it taken out. I have 2 fragments under my arm. They're not bothering me whatsoever.
Yes, when?
The one that was bothering me, we had Lance.
When was it removed?
Would you share with me the medicals on that? Will you send me a
It came to the surface and it got Lance. I mean, it was literally right here on the surface.
But you didn't take it out, did you?
So it was
course not.
moving.
The doctor took it
Yeah,
out?
the doctor took it out.
Okay, and so there'll be a little note on that. Would you share that with me? Just send it to me next week?
I don't know where it is. I have no idea.
Well, the doctor. Just give me the name of the doctor.
I don't know the name of the doctor.
Well, can you get it?
I don't know. It wasn't me. David and Jennifer did it.
Okay, well, I'll get it from them then.
When was it done?
A few months after he came here.
A few months when?
After we
Then
came
why
here.
did Dave tell the court that there was no medical work done, that he hadn't seen a doctor under oath?
Well, I'll verify this.
Okay.
and
But that was my
determine.
problem because it was moving.
My point to you is do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the letter that you're talking about, I've seen that letter. I didn't rely on that letter here today. I didn't use it
Because it was a nurse, and he portrayed it as being a psychiatrist. They did no psychological testing for anything for him to say that. But that's not the point. I never wanted to put labels on my son. Never. I never put him on medication because I thought it was making him drowsy.
He's had a lot of labels put on him.
Right, and I have not put them, and I
but
never
at this point,
went
he's
there.
an adult.
He's an adult and happy.
He's an adult, and I just want you to know that, in my opinion, if you're attacking the family he's living with, legally or otherwise, you're attacking him, and that'll be to his detriment. and it will disrupt his peace of mind.
Yes,
and if you feel like you need to do it, then by all means do it. But do it, know that in my professional opinion, you're doing it at the cost of your son's peace of mind and happiness.
Right, and I don't want to do that.
And,
I don't want to do that, so I'm going to strongly consider dropping it against your new family.
I would hope that you would, because there's nothing really to gain.
Right. Okay.
And
Would that be better? I'm sorry. I want him to be medically okay. Then I will be able to drop against his new family. But I need that. I need that for my peace of mind.
The show doesn't stop when I walk off stage. Visit drphil.com for exclusive video and advice you won't find anywhere else. And be sure to sign up for our newsletter while you're there to be the first to know what's coming up on The Dr. Phil Show. So log on today. What are you waiting for? We can't do this show without you, our studio audience.
If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Because we have a lot of fun here, don't we? Or you can call 323-461-PHIL.
The guns being in the house was the main issue with the child welfare investigation. We showed the social worker that we had 3 gun safes, so we were properly securing them.
We had guns all over the house. My dad-in-law was a major gun freak. He probably had over 40 guns. There were a few guns that were loaded in the house. There was one in the pantry, one in my dad's office, and one by his bed. The gun in the food pantry that I used to shoot myself. It was my mom's gun, actually. So I knew the gun was there. I just sort of took it when my mom wasn't looking.
Well, in 2012, Minnie says David swooped in, kidnapped her 17-year-old son, Andrew, that she had raised and had custody of all of his life. Well, David says, look, that is just not true. He says she gave him permission to take Andrew. I've now asked you about that, and you said, yes, I did give him permission to take him once he was discharged.
Once he was discharged.
You say you've since found out that there was this whole conspiracy to discharge him so he could take him. You didn't know that when you said okay.
I did not know.
But you say you know that now.
I want him to be medically okay, his lungs and everything, and then I will be able to drop against his new family. Okay. But I need that. I need that for my peace of mind. That's what I want.
Well,
that's the only thing I care about.
I will make arrangements for him to have a full and independent medical evaluation.
Thank you.
And have a copy of that sent to you and Lon to look at. And this will be someone that I select.
Okay.
My son Jay is the executive producer of The Doctors, and they have connections in the medical community all through the country, including Las Vegas. And we'll find the appropriate professional, and we'll have him do an independent medical evaluation and share that report with you and Lon.
Okay.
As well as David. Then you'll have it, and you'll be all set and good to go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now, I'm gonna say goodbye to you at this point and spend a minute talking to Andrew here for just a second.
Okay.
So I
thank you
appreciate it.
very much.
Thank you so much, Lon. Thank you. We'll be right back. Hey, Dr. Phil here. Did you know that more than 16 million kids in the U.S. are at risk of hunger each day? That's more than 1 in 5 children. Now, these are our neighbors, our kids that play in the neighborhood, co-workers, friends' children. The problem is closer than you would think, but so is the solution. Join me and visit feedingamerica.org/hunger to find your local food bank to help. I'm Dr. Phil, and together, we are Feeding America. Justifying your inactivity and avoiding the challenge of change. For help getting started, go to drphil.com for 11 seasons of advice, articles, and exclusive videos you won't find anywhere else. Plus, sign up for the Dr. Phil community to share your story and find support from others, all on drphil.com. Well, Andrew, I'm glad to meet you because I'd heard so much about you from so many people, and you seem to me to be a very together and buttoned-up young man. So tell me what's in your future? What are you going to do with your life? Where are you headed?
I plan on working full-time, maybe going to college, learning some of the things I didn't learn. Get married, have kids, just live a normal life. That's all I ever wanted.
So, want to get married and have kids, huh?
Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, not anytime soon.
Take it slow. Take it slow. We raised 2 boys. Take it slow, because they are full-time, and then they have kids, and then you get to do it all over again.
That's definitely farther down the road.
Yeah, I hope so. So what are your interests? What would you like to do career-wise?
I'm actually working full-time as a construction laborer in Vegas. I would like to excel in that field, maybe become an estimator or a skilled laborer, maybe even a foreman.
Okay.
There's a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah, sure. And your home life at this point is peaceful and...
Very peaceful.
You have your own room?
I have my own room. We do family activities together. We have family home evening, which is we get together as a family and talk about problems, and we play board games. We go on family trips every year.
Yeah.
We go to beaches. We just, I guess, do what normal families do.
Yeah. So you play board games?
Yeah, we play board games.
Yeah. What do you like to play?
Phase 10, that's my favorite.
Yeah. See, I never liked board games. That just seems to me like problems in a box. And people love them. Robin makes me play Scrabble once in a while.
I do.
And, you know, beats me like a drum.
I do.
So at this point, do you feel calm within yourself?
I feel very calm. The only stressful thing in my life right now is my mom suing the family I'm living with.
Well, I think she's really moving in a direction of stopping that, and you know, she's asked to see you, and I think she acknowledges that you're happy and doing well now. I think there's a box she wants to check off in her mind that medically nothing has been left unattended, and so I'm going to ask you to see a doctor and let him give you a good physical.
We've gone through this many times together. I've told her I've seen her in person. I've talked to her on the phone many times, and she just can't accept it.
Yeah, well, she seemed to make some progress today.
I sure hope so.
And I want to get this independent medical evaluation done, and then you check that box off, and then move forward. And I hope you give yourself permission to do that. And if you have history here with these folks that has been painful to you, I hope you find it in your heart to forgive that. And if you can do that, I mean, it sets you free. And if you, as I said, if you need something going forward, you pick up the phone, and I'm a dial away, and we'll go from there. How's that?
I appreciate that very much.
Good. All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. If you want more information on today's show, you can log on to drphil.com. And as I leave now,